Now, Mr. Hudgens, is your full name Derek Brandon Hudgens Jr.?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Hudgens, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Hudgens, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Hudgens, you may put your hand down. How you doing, Mr. Hudgens?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Hudgens, you're here represented by your attorney, Attorney Bruce Smith. Attorney Smith, how are you doing? I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Smith, do you waive a record in Mr. Hudgens' case?
We do.
Mr. Hudgens, your attorney, okay, Mr. Hudgens, I have before me a document that is titled Information in cause number 330310. This information alleges that on or about June 27th of 2021, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, operating a motor vehicle in a public place, that you committed the Class B misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated. Mr. Hudgens, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to this charge, Mr. Hudgens, how do you plead guilty, not guilty, no contest?
No contest.
Now, you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes, Your Honor.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Hudgens, I have before me a document that is titled Misdemeanor Plea Admonishment, also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
On page 2 of this same document, Mr. Hudgens, there are a set of initials DH on the line next to the box that check no contingent, which means no contest. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
On the next page of the same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled Defendant. Mr. Hudgens, is that your signature?
Yes, Your Honor.
On the next document, there's titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
And is this your signature above the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, sir.
There are two boxes that are checked at the top of this document. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
The second box states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Hudgens, I also have before me a document on paper that is titled Discovery Certification. Mr. Hudgens, do you recognize this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
And is this your signature on the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Hudgens, before you signed and initial all of these documents, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Hudgens, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit Number 1, the misdemeanor plea admonishment. I also have before me State's Exhibit Number 2, the probable cause affidavit, which is in the court's file. State, you like to offer States 1 and 2?
Yes, Your Honor. State offer States 1 and 2.
Any
No
objection? No objection. States Exhibits 1 and 2 are admitted. Mr. Smith, you've advised and counsel Mr. Hudgens. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Hudgens, your attorney, Mr. Smith, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Your Honor.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Hudgens, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
Your Honor, in exchange for defendant's plea of no contest in this case, the state is recommending confinement in the Jefferson County Jail for a period of 180 days. The state is asking that the court suspend their position of that sentence, placing defendant on community supervision for a period of 1 year, Your Honor, requiring defendants to pay a fine of $1,000 to complete 60 hours of community service, and for his probation to include the standard DWI conditions, to include DWI education course, a drug and alcohol assessment, as well as an interlock device, Your Honor. We are also dismissing case number 330312 in exchange for defendants forfeiture of weapon, serial number 413594.
There was no mention of the interlock on the bomb. Yeah, he's not indicted.
Hold on.
He's not indicted with .15.
It's on the, somebody wrote it in here. It's on here. It's written in, sent in a lot.
I didn't write it.
Who wrote it in? I mean,
I wrote that in there, Your Honor.
if y'all need some more time to talk, y'all can talk. I mean, I'm just,
He was indicted with a 5 or above.
I'm just going on what the plea bargain was. So if y'all need to, if that's not the plea bargain, what I'll do, I'll be in recess and y'all can sit down and, y'all can talk. We'll call you back up. Jefferson County Court of Law number 2 is back in session and calls number 330310 case, South State of Texas versus Derek Brandon Hudgens Jr. We have Mr. Hudgens, President Court, with his attorney, Mr. Bruce Smith. Mr. Hudgens earlier was sworn in. Mr. Hudgens entered a plea of no contest to the charge of driving while intoxicated and calls number 330310. Mr. Hudgens acknowledged that his signatures and initials was on State's Exhibit No. 1, the misdemeanor plea admonishment. He also acknowledged that his signature was on the trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal. And he also acknowledged that his signature was on the discovery certification. He also stated that prior to him signing and initialing the documents, that his attorney went over these documents with him, that he read and understood everything in these documents. And everything in these documents was true and correct to the best of his knowledge. His attorney, Mr. Bruce Smith, waived the record in this case. Mr. Bruce Smith acknowledged that that there was no evidence that Mr. Hudgens was currently mentally incompetent to stand trial. Mr. Hudgens acknowledged that he was satisfied with the representation of Mr. Smith, who gave him fairly competent legal representation in this case. Now, State, would you please announce what the offer is in this case?
Sure, Your Honor. In exchange for defendant's plea of no contest in this case, the state is recommending confinement in Jefferson County Jail for a period of 180 days, Your Honor. We're asking that the court suspend the imposition of that sentence, placing defendants on community supervision for a period of 1 year. Your Honor, requiring defendant to pay a fine of $1,000, requiring defendant to complete 60 hours of community service, and requiring his probation conditions to include standard DWI conditions, including DWI education course and alcohol assessment, Your Honor, plus an interlock device. We are also moving to dismiss, excuse me, cause number 330312 in exchange for defendant's forfeiture of the weapon found, Your Honor, with the serial number 413594.
Okay, do you have a copy of the forfeiture? Okay. Now, Mr. Hudgens, the state is offering that you serve 180 days in Jefferson County Jail. However, you will not have to serve any time in the Jefferson County Jail in this case, because you'll be placed on probation for a period of 1 year. During the 1 year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $1,000 plus court costs of $422, which comes to a total of fine and court costs of $1,422. You'll also be required to pay $60 each month for a probation fee, $15 each month for a urinalysis fee. You'll be required to pay Jefferson County DW education class an initial evaluation fee of $125 on the day of the plea. Should a further evaluation be needed, you'll be required to pay an additional $50. Now, your total monthly installments, that is, the total amount that you'll be required to pay each month while you're on probation is $205 per month. Mr. Hudgens, will you be able to pay the $205 each month?
Yes, sir.
You'll also be required to perform 60 hours of community service. You'll be required to attend and complete a DWI education class and have an alcohol assessment. You'll be required to install a DWI interlock device on any vehicle that you own or operate. And the state will be dismissing cause number 330312 for forfeiture of the weapon in that case. And in that case, Mr. Hudgens, I have before me a motion to forfeit the weapon. Mr. Hudgens, do you recognize this document?
Yes, Your Honor.
And is this your signature on the line that's by the defendant? Now, Mr. Hudgens, before you sign this document, did your attorney go over this document with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything in this document?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in this document true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Hudgens, I will sign this motion, or this order rather, to forfeit the weapon in this case to the Department of the Texas Department of Public Safety. I'm gonna refer to as DPS. Okay. Now, Mr. Hudgens, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
And do you think the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Hudgens, I'll follow the plea bargain agreement that you have entered into with the state. Mr. Hudgens, you're gonna stand on the X next to your attorney. You're gonna follow the directions of our court clerk. Once you finish following her directions, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
Yes, sir.
Okay, please stand on the X. I'm gonna give y'all his dismissal.
Yes, sir.
The dismissal is not up there. Is it? You need to, I don't have a dismissal on there. Okay. Yeah, they have to sign it. He can just have a seat and they're gonna sign the dismissal. You have Bruno next. DeMarcus Bruno? Who is DeMarcus Bruno? You come forward?
They were suspended. So got the wrong, I'm on my top,
Who? I say DeMarcus.
You said DeMarcus, I got the wrong Bruno.
Okay. Okay, I think this is one of Lamar's cases. DeMarcus Bruno?
Sir.
No, I was letting him know what case we want. Okay, this is cause number 330940, case of style of state of Texas versus DeMarcus Dwayne Bruno. Mr. Bruno, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Bruno?
Blessed and you.
I'm blessed as well. Mr. Bruno, you're here represented by your attorney, Mr. Smith. Mr. Smith, what is your announcement in Mr. Bruno's case?
Your Honor, we're requesting a 30-day reset. We are trying to determine he has a charge that has not been formally filed out of Tyler County.
Oh,
And
okay,
we're trying to get that, we're trying to find out from the DA if they're dropping it, if they're going forward, whatnot. And so
Okay.
that needs to be done prior to disposition.
okay,
This case will be worked out.
okay. Give us a, okay, this case, Mr. Bruno, will be reset to October 10th of 2022. Your attorney is gonna sign for your reset. Once you get your reset from your attorney, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. Just stand on X. Did we ever get that dismissed? Which? We still haven't got that dismissal. Okay, they still working on it. Cody Walty? This is clause number 329272, case of style of state of Texas versus Cody Cheyenne Welty. Mr. Welty, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Welty?
Doing well, how are you?
I'm doing fine, thanks for asking. Mr. Welty, you are here represented by your attorney, Attorney Bruce Smith. Attorney Smith, what's your announcement in
Your
Mr.
Honor, we
Welty's
ask that,
case?
the felony, has been reset. We have to be there along with the felony.
Okay, can we check and see if he has a date in the computer? Okay, Mr. Welty, your case is going, this case is gonna be reset with your felony case. We don't have a date, they haven't put a date in the computer yet, for your felony. However, our court coordinator is gonna continue to check on a date. And once she gets the date, she's gonna send the date to your attorney and your bossman. So you're free to go and you have a blessed day.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome. And Mr. Smith, I'm signing the dismissal on Hudgens. Once you get the dismissal on Hudgens, Mr. Smith, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
I have one more case.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, Donald Lewis.
Okay. That's the dismissal that's coming on. Yeah. Next case is called number 325374, case of style of state of Texas versus Donald Ray Lewis. The case is on our pretrial conference docket. Is that a notice saying, please? Hmm? Okay, this case is cause number 325-374, case of style of state of Texas versus Donald Ray Lewis. Mr. Lewis, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Lewis?
It'll be-
Okay, we hope that you'll be doing a lot better. Mr. Lewis, you're here represented by your attorney, Mr. Bruce Smith. Smith, what's your announcement in Mr. Lewis's case?
You know, we had previously provided information to the court that my client is suffering from leukemia, he's being treated for that. And on the 15th, he's being told when he's going to be having surgery. So we're asking for a 30-day reset. Because then he will either have the surgery and hopefully within that.
Okay,
The surgery can be later on this week or it can be next week.
okay, yeah, state, you have any objections?
Okay.
Okay, give us a reset date.
October 20th.
Okay, this case gonna be reset to October 10th. Mr. Lewis, your attorney, Mr. Smith is gonna sign for your reset. Once you get your reset from your attorney, you'll be free to go, and the court is praying that you have a full and speedy recovery. All right, please stand up, and Mr. Smith, you'll be free to go as well, and you have a blessed day. And you have a blessed day as well.
Thank you.
Mr. Smith, yeah, you can get it from, yeah, your attorney has it. Next case is cause number 329-426, case of style of state of Texas versus Justin Ray Sellers. Yes. Wait on the prosecutor. Mr. Sellers is appearing via Zoom. Mr. Sellers, how are you doing?
Doing well, Your Honor. Thank you. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking, and thanks for being patient with us. Now, Mr. Sellers, your attorney is Mr. Ryan Gertz. Mr. Gertz, how are you doing?
Great, Judge, thank you.
Mr. Gertz, what is your announcement in Mr. Sellers' case?
Judge, we're asking for a resetting in the case to continue looking at some discovery issues that you're having on our end. It's not the state's issue. But if we could have maybe 60 days.
Okay, give us a 60-day reset.
November 7th.
Okay, this case will be reset till November 7th of 2022. Mr. Sellers, your attorney and your bondsman will be given notice of your reset date. Stay in contact with your attorney and your bondsman. Mr. Sellers, you're free to go. And again, thanks for being patient with us, and you have a blessed day.
You too, sir. Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Next case is cause number 329-876, case of style of state of Texas versus Joshua Slade Winslow. Mr. Winslow, is your full name Joshua Slade Winslow?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Winslow?
I'm doing good, sir. How about yourself?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Winslow, you're here represented by your attorney, Attorney Ryan Gertz. Attorney Gertz, what is your announcement in Mr. Winslow's case?
Judge, Mr. Johnson and I have a very narrow, close issue with a deal that we've got worked out. If we could have a very short recess, maybe 30 days.
Okay,
we recess, resetting. It's like I'm in kindergarten again. Resetting for 30 days. I think we'll have a deal worked out and have it disposed of in that 30 days.
Okay.
It will not be a trial.
Reset it on plea docket. Give us a date. November 10th.
I mean, October.
Okay. Okay, this case is reset to October 10th of 2022. Mr. Winslow, stay in contact with your attorney and your bondsman. Well, you have a case bond, but stay in contact with your attorney. Your attorney is going to give you a reset. Once you get your reset from your attorney, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. And Mr. Gertz, is that your last case?
I think so, Judge.
All right, you'll be free to go get your reset. You'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
Appreciate you, Judge.
You're welcome. Okay. Rosendo Gonzalez. She's calling.
I don't know if he's an iPhone.
No, I think that's furlough.
Yeah, that was Rosendo earlier, so I thought maybe he was on there.
Okay, well, let's move on to your next case. We'll come back to him. Tyler Tatum. Would you please call?
He is us.
Tyler Tatum. This is cause numbers 324-437 and cause number 324-865. Both cases are Solid State of Texas versus Tyler James Tatum. Mr. Tatum, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Tatum?
Pretty good, how are you?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Tatum, you're here represented by your attorney, Attorney Dustin Galmore. Attorney Galmore, how you doing?
Great, Judge. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. And the state is represented by Attorney Tommy Coleman. Attorney Coleman, how are you doing?
Good, John.
Mr. Galmore, what's your are you ready in Mr. Tatum's case?
Yes, Judge.
And state?
State's ready, Judge. The state would elect to proceed on the DWI, cause number 324-865. Judge.
Okay, ready. Now, Mr. Tatum, I'm looking at my trial docket. Look like your case is gonna be it depends on what happened with, if Rosendo Gonzalez appears or not, you'll be if he does appear, number 3. If not, you'll be number 2.
Okay.
Right, so you need to be back tomorrow at 1:30.
Tomorrow at 1:30.
Yes.
Good to go, then I can have my alibi here too, right? You got my alibi?
Would you just call me that?
Yes. All right, 1:30 tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay, so you're free to go. We'll see you at 1:30. Yeah, oh,
Just to
excuse me.
clarify, Judge, so we will be picking tomorrow and starting on Wednesday morning.
I mean, we can do that. We can pick a jury on tomorrow.
And start on Wednesday.
Yeah, we can start on Wednesday.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Judge.
Okay. So right now, you're number 3. We need to see what Rosendo Gonzalez is gonna happen on that one.
Judge, I wasn't here for the announcement on Ricky Turner. I'm
Who?
also Ricky Turner. He's on the trial docket. I'm also, my understanding is
Ricky Turner.
he'd be number 1. He'd be number 1. All right, Judge.
Oh, that's the guy. Yeah, it depends on whether or not Rosendo Gonzalez is setting number 1, but it may be a bond forfeiture.
We'll find it.
And then if we don't get Rosendo, then it's go down to Turner. Turner is after Rosendo.
Hold on one second.
We're gonna find Rosendo
Your Honor, I just want to make sure we're wording that. I just sent a text. I'm not exactly sure where he is right this second, but he's never missed before. And I don't see any situation where we're not going to locate him and he'll be available for his trial setting.
Right.
There is an issue with the case. I don't know if you want to bring that up now or we can wait till we find Mr. Rosendo. though.
We can, well, you need to find Mr. Rosendo. Yeah.
See, Ms. Bruno's in the room if you want.
Monte Bruno? Monte Bruno? This is cause number 324-754, case of style of state of Texas versus Monte Shanae Bruno. Ms. Bruno, how are you doing?
I'm fine.
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking, Ms. Bruno. You're here represented by your attorney Dustin Galmore. Attorney Galmore, how are you doing?
Great, Judge. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Mr. Galmore, what's your announcement in Ms. Bruno's case? Oh, she has two cases.
She is.
Cause number 324-756 as well.
They're trial, Judge.
Okay, you ready?
Yes.
Okay, state.
State's ready, Judge. We filed a motion to consolidate both of those cases since they arose out of the same occurrence. We asked that the court grant our motion to consolidate and allow us to try both at the same time.
Yeah. We're not opposed.
Okay.
We prefer to be tried together.
Okay, so you're waiving your notice?
Or he had noticed, Judge. I filed the motion to consolidate and served Mr. Galmore in advance of today's session.
Oh, I think you just filed it last week, and then, right?
I don't know.
That's the note when I looked at the motion, look at the motion.
We moved, we joined in the movement to join them together.
Okay,
so,
okay, so you're waiving your 30-day your notice requirement.
Yes.
Okay. Okay,
Certainly don't want to try twice.
right. So give me that motion. Well, we might have to do this, is our court reporter here? We're gonna put this on the record. Yeah, because I looked at that, that's, the drill too. Info. Yeah, 302. Yeah, file with notes.
Judge, will we be having just one trial this week, or is there a possibility we get to
We only have one jury plus,
one panel?
Try two in 1 week anyway.
Court is back in session in cause numbers 324-754 and cause number 324-756. Both cases are Style Estates, Texas versus Monta Shanae Bruno. And Ms. Bruno, we're back in session in your cases. And I have, this case is set on the court's trial docket that's set today. And I have before me a state's motion to consolidate in cause numbers 324-754 and cause number 324-756. Now, Mr. Galmore, do you have any objections to this state's motion to consolidate?
No, Your Honor.
And I see here that this motion was filed September 2nd of 2022. And do you waive the 30-day notice requirement pursuant to section 302 of the Texas Penal Code?
We do, Judge.
Okay. And so the court is going to grant this motion to consolidate. Okay, so the court is going to grant this motion, the motion to consolidate. Okay, so now this case is on our, currently on our trial docket. And Ms. Bruno, this case will be set number 4 on the trial docket, so you have to come back tomorrow at 1:30. Stay in contact with your attorney.
Yes, sir.
And your
Thank
boss.
you.
Okay, you want. Ruffin, Bobby Ruffin. Okay, next case, we have 2 cases. Cases of Style of State of Texas versus Emmett Charles Young. Mr. Young is appearing via Zoom. The cause numbers are 330-358 and cause numbers 330-382. Mr. Young, how are you doing?
Good, Yana. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for being patient with us this morning, Mr. Young. Mr. Young, you're here represented by your attorney, Attorney Dustin Galmore. Attorney Galmore, again, how are you doing?
Great, Judge. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Now, Mr. Galmore, what is your announcement in Mr. Young's cases?
Ready.
Ready? State?
Ready, Your Honor.
Okay. Oh. Okay. Let me see. Okay, this case will be set number 7. So I don't anticipate we're gonna get to him.
And Judge, I mean, my other ones are trials, so.
Right. So I don't anticipate, Mr. Young, we're gonna be able to get to your case because we got right now 6 cases that's above you that's gonna go to trial, and we're going, only one of them is gonna go. So and your attorney is on like 3 or 4 of them. So I don't anticipate this case going to trial. So we're gonna reset your case. Okay?
Okay.
Set it for trial. Give us a trial date.
October 24th.
Okay, this case is gonna be reset on the October 24th trial docket. Mr. Young, stay in contact with your attorney, your bondsman. Your attorney, your bondsman is going to be given notice of the resets. You're free to go. Again, Mr. Young, thanks for being patient with us, and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, sir. You as
All right.
well.
All right, you're welcome. And Mr. Gelmo, we give you a chance to get in contact with Gonzalez.
Okay, I've got some messages out, so I'm sure we'll reach in here shortly.
Okay,
I've got 2 announcements whenever the board's ready.
okay. Hold on a minute. She needs you to sign. Bobby Lee Ruffin. You please come forward. This is called number 325-252. Case is filed, the state of Texas versus Bobby Lee Ruffin. Ms. Ruffin, how are you doing?
I'm okay with that.
I'm doing fine. Now, that's your full name, Bobby Lee Ruffin?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now, Ms. Ruffin, you're represented in this case by Attorney Langston Adams. Attorney Adams just contacted the court. He is currently in trial in Orange County. So your case has to be reset because we already have some cases set in trial and he's in trial, so he can't try 2 cases at the same time. All right, so stand on the 4X to get your reset. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
Thank you, you too.
You're welcome. Christopher Ray Harris. What, you got a trial date on him?
October 24th.
Mr. Harris, you are represented in your case by your attorney, Langston Adams. He's currently in trial in Orange County, Texas. And so your case has to be reset for another trial date. He can't try 2 cases at the same time.
I understand.
Okay, so you're gonna get your reset from our coordinator. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. Okay. Oh,
Hey, Mark. Johnson, right? Yes, sir. Nice to meet you.
Oh, you bet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you from here or are you?
Not from here.
You just found a job here?
Yeah. Came back out. Worked in Bowman for a year after that.
next case is Cause numbers 328-468 and cause number 331-226. Both cases are styled the state of Texas versus Esteban Avalos Jr.
Yes.
Mr.
That's my
Avalos
name.
currently on Zoom. How are you doing, Mr. Avalos?
I'm fine. How about you, sir?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Avalos, you're here represented by your attorney who is in court, Attorney Dustin Galmore. Attorney Galmore, what is your announcement in Mr. Avalos' cases?
Judge, we just said it's felony for a suppression hearing. And so I assume what would happen here is if we have a suppression hearing and the judge grants it, I believe that this court will be bound by that ruling. However, if it's not granted, then we will resolve this case at that time.
So, I mean, you want to, so you're saying you want to set it on the same date?
It's felony, yes.
October 31st.
Okay, this case is, set October 31st?
Yes, sir.
Okay, these cases will be reset to October 31st of 2022. Mr. Avalos, your attorney will be given, your attorney and your bondsman will be given notice of your reset date. Stay in contact with your attorney and your bondsman. Your case has been reset to October 31st of 2022. Thanks for being
Okay.
patient. You're free to go and you have a blessed day.
Okay, thank you. You too, sir.
You're welcome. Next case is Ramses Morales. Yeah, Ramses Morales. Ramses Morales. This cause number 330-688. The case is styled the state of Texas versus Ramses Concepcion Morales Jr. Mr. Morales, is that your full name?
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor.
How are you doing, Mr. Morales?
Good, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Morales, you're here represented by your attorney Dustin Galmore. Attorney Galmore, what's your announcement in Mr. Morales' case?
We just want to keep it with felony, Judge. I don't have the new date, but.
October 24th.
There you go.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Morales, this case will be reset with your felony cases for October 24th of 2022. Your attorney is going to get your reset. Stay in contact with your attorney and your bondsman. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. Okay. Did Jose Hernandez show up?
Your Honor, that's my case.
Yes. Mr. Okay, this is cause number 331-820. Case of style of state of Texas versus Jose Luis Hernandez. Mr. Hernandez, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Hernandez?
Yes, sir.
You doing good? Now, Mr. Hernandez, you're here represented by your attorney Brian Matuska. Attorney Matuska, how are you doing?
Morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Mr. Matuska, what is your announcement in Mr. Hernandez's case?
Judge, we entered a plea this morning to his felony case, so that has been disposed of now. If we could maybe set this either on the date or after sentencing.
Okay,
that
what
would
date?
we don't have that date yet.
It's October 24th. Okay, we're gonna reset it on the same day, October 24th of the felony. Okay, so Mr. Hernandez, this case will be reset to October 24th, the same day of your felony case. And again, once you need to check in here first, and then we'll take care of your felony case. And once your felony case is finished, then you can come back to this court on the same day, okay? All right, please stand on the X. You're gonna get your reset. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day. And Mr. Matuska, Your reset will be sent to you. Thanks. Dustin Harrington. Court is in session in 3 cases, cause numbers 324-578, cause number 324-852, and cause number 331-732. All 3 cases are styled as State of Texas versus Dustin Wayne Harrington. Mr. Harrington, is that your full name?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Harrington?
I'm pretty good. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Mr. Harrington, you're here represented by your attorney, Attorney Ryan Matuska, who is appearing via Zoom. Mr. Matuska, what is your announcement in Mr. Harrington's cases?
Your Honor, it's my understanding, I was waiting on Mr. Harrington's felony case. I do not know how that went this morning. He is an attorney on that also.
They give me 45 days. Alan Parker, reset it for 45.
Oh, okay, they reset his case. You want this case reset? You want these cases reset on the same day of the felony?
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
Give us what day?
November 7th.
Okay, these cases will be reset to November 7th of 2022. Mr. Harrington, you're gonna stand on the 4X and get your resets. Once you get your resets, you'll be free to go. Now on that date, you need to do like you did today. Come and check in here, go take care of that case, and then come back here
Yes.
to this court, okay?
Okay.
Okay, you can stand on the 4X, get your reset. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go, and you have a blessed day.
You too, sir.
Thank you. And Mr. Matuska, I think this is your last case, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Matuska, you're free to go as well, and you have a blessed day. Your reset will be sent to you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
And the text report explained that.
He's on Zoom. Okay, this is cause number 329-880, case of style, State of Texas versus Gerald Wayne Bryant. Mr. Bryant is present in court. Mr. Bryant, how are you doing? You doing good? Now, Mr. Bryant, you're represented in your case by attorney Bruce Cobb, who is appearing via Zoom. Attorney Cobb, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine, Your Honor.
And Mr. Bryant, how are you doing? Okay, now, Mr. Cobb, I see that Mr. Bryant was approved for pretrial diversion. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor, he was.
Okay, is there a sign-up date?
I'm not sure. I've got to get a hold of the officer that's doing this program. I've been trying to get that, and I think we had one date, and it unfortunately passed. Something happened. I was not able to to be able to get Mr. Bryant to sign off on the papers. I had him in my office. And I needed to get the officer to resend me those papers. And that hasn't happened yet. I just need to get back with her and probably get it done today and find out what the next sign up day for the next class. So,
Okay, you said, now, I think they sign up at the DA's office, don't they? I think that's what, I think they usually sign up at the district attorney's office.
yeah,
Okay. I think the probation, I think there's somebody's in the DA's office that's over that.
right. I have to have a date where I could probably be there. And right now, without transportation, that's been a problem. And I've, trying to get with
Mr.
a date for it.
Okay, now, Mr. Cobb, you need to contact the Jefferson County District Attorney's Office, and they can put you in contact with the person that's over that program.
Right.
Okay.
And if he could, Mr. Bryant could come to my office and get him to come to my office while I'm here, I'll be able to get him signed up and we'll get that other thing taken care of. So
you need him to come to the office to win.
I don't have the papers yet. Again, I'll have to go ahead and get it from this person, the probation
Okay, well,
officer.
we're gonna give you a standard reset of 30 days to get that done.
Yes, Your Honor, we'll get that done.
Okay, give us a
Okey-doke.
date.
October 17th.
October 17th. Now, Mr. Bryant, your attorney, your case has been reset to October 17th. Give you a chance to meet with your attorney to sign whatever paperwork that you have to sign and to get into the pretrial diversion program. So you're gonna stand on the 4X. Once you get your reset, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
Your Honor,
And